A winter break, a reset, not a treat. Part 2, a member review. This review was requested by the Workers of England Union to support discussion among members about whether winter sun is a realistic and worthwhile use of annual leave, particularly for those who work through the Christmas period. One of our members has long argued that a winter sun break can be worth every bit as much as a traditional summer holiday, not as a luxury, but as a way of protecting health and well-being during the hardest months of the year. The first stage was research. We looked at short winter breaks in the UK, Europe, and further afield. What became clear very quickly was that if you want reliable warmth and daylight in winter, flying is unavoidable. Many of the cheaper options still involved long travel times, often 4 to 6 hours or more. Once travel time was factored in, a short break no longer felt as short because at least 2 days of annual leave would be lost to getting there and back. With that in mind, we decided that if we were going to do this properly, it needed to be long enough to feel worthwhile. A 5-night, 6-day break felt like the right balance. Egypt was considered, but ruled out due mainly to flight times. While the temperatures were appealing, the cost was also higher at around £500 per person for flights and all-inclusive, and that was without transfers. The longer flight time also made it feel less suitable for what was meant to be a restorative break rather than an endurance exercise in travel. The Canary Islands emerged as the most realistic option. Flight times were manageable, prices were reasonable, and the climate offered warmth without extreme heat. We found a hotel-only deal for £249, but decided to go for an all-inclusive deal at £335 per person, including flights. Transfers and airport parking were not included, bringing the total cost to £385 per person. Temperatures were forecast at around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. There was still a risk, however. Weather reports showed rain in the weeks before departure, and we spoke to people who had been there shortly before us who said conditions had been disappointing. That highlighted one of the realities of winter sun: there is always a gamble. Fortunately, the timing worked in our favor. Stepping off the plane after leaving England at around 5 degrees Celsius and walking into warmth was an immediate physical and mental lift. Wearing shorts and t-shirts in December felt strange in the best possible way. Even simple movement felt easier. Although the sea and swimming pools were cold and few people went in, the daylight lasting into early evening made a noticeable difference. Back home, winter days feel compressed. Here, the day still had space in it. What really stood out, though, was not just the weather, but what it allowed us to do. We made a deliberate decision to relax by the pool in the sun, to reset mentally as well as physically. There were checks of emails, but constant background stress was deliberately reduced. We ate well, spent time outdoors every day, went for short runs, walked regularly, and, as mentioned, relaxed by the pool while the body properly warmed up. Those simple things, combined with sunshine and daylight, had a powerful effect. Within 2 days, both of us felt more relaxed, more energized, and noticeably calmer. Sleep improved, stress levels dropped. It felt as though the body was being reminded what normal should feel like, rather than constantly bracing against cold, darkness, and pressure. This experience was sharpened by conversations with other visitors who had holidayed the week before. Their experience had been far less positive because the weather had been poor, with rain and cooler temperatures. While they still valued time away from work, they did not report the same boost in mood or energy. That contrast made it clear how important reliable sunshine and warmth are to getting the full benefit from a winter break. When winter sun works, it can be genuinely transformative. When it does not, the benefits are more limited. Returning home, we felt that the impact would last well into the winter. It genuinely felt as though the break had shortened the darker months and made the rest of winter more manageable. It even prompted discussion about whether traveling earlier in December or again in February might help push past the worst of the winter blues altogether, creating a bridge through the hardest part of the year rather than simply enduring it. From a work-life balance perspective, the break felt less like a holiday and more like recovery. Properly switching off allowed real rest, rather than the half-rest that often happens at home in winter. For those working long hours, shifts, or over Christmas, this kind of break can feel less like indulgence and more like preventative healthcare. The question now is not whether winter sun is right for everyone, but whether it deserves more serious consideration by working people. Should WEU members consider using annual leave for winter sun just as much as their summer holiday? If you work over Christmas, do you feel able to take time later to recharge? Or do you still feel annual leave should be saved for summer? Whatever your view, it is worth discussing. Stephen Morris, General Secretary of the Workers of England Union, said, Thank you for the review and sharing your experience so openly. It's exactly this kind of honesty that will help our members to think differently about how we all use our annual leave. Winter can be a tough grind for many of us, especially for those working through Christmas or on shifts. And there's no single right answer, but hearing how a winter break helped someone genuinely reset and get through the darker months is a conversation worth having. I would really encourage members to read the review and discuss if this might be an option for them. Whether members agree or not, we can keep learning from each other.